Hello everybody, my name is Shah Parali. I'm an immigration attorney in the Bay Area, and my law firm Shah Parali Law Group has handled hundreds of cases in immigration, almost 1500 now, and we have dealt successfully with many family petitions, employment-based petitions, asylums, and even some appeals. But today I'm going to talk more about VAWA petitions, and more particularly about VAWA petitions for men. You will be surprised to know that men can also benefit from the Violence Against Women Act because it's violence against spouses. The truth is that VAWA should change basically. It should be Violence Against Spouses Act. It should be uh, against VASA instead of VAWA, to be honest, because men can also benefit from that, and we have demonstrated in many cases before men are abused and have been abused and ultimately end up by winning a VAWA petition. So among the some statistics here, it seems like among all the abuses cases reported there, 60%, 50 to 60% are attributed to women being abused. However, there's still 40% of those cases that are attributed to men being the abused instead of being the perpetrators of the abuse. And that's an interesting statistic. It seems like it's kind of equal. 40 to 60 is just a 20% difference. And many people would think it's a laughing matter. Well, it's not a laughing matter because abuses can take different forms and can affect a woman as much as a man and a child. So this is a very serious matter, and people should consider it very seriously. And the worst part of that is whenever we are dealing with the immigrant community, because of the cultures, it seems like most of those cultures are based on a man's culture, and if a man is abused, they feel very, very much, I don't know the qualification to put it, but they are ashamed to really come forward to tell about their abuses. And there are a few reasons. There are some organizations out there, including the OregonCounseling.org, which have handed out some domestic violence brochures when they kind of analyze why men don't really acknowledge abuses. And because it appears, first of all, to be so low, and they don't really want to make a big noise about it or talk about it. And the other thing that they say, it has taken years to support or encourage women to report their domestic violence, and nothing has really encouraged men to come forward and talk about their abuses, about them being abused. The other thing is that the idea of men being abused is is not thinkable. Unfortunately, many people will believe that a man is supposed to be stronger, which is kind of a wrong perception, of course. But this is this is the truth. Our society always took man as the stronger person, unfortunately. But the truth is that it's not the case in every time. And also, counseling has always been attributed or has been set to counsel women about abuses. So a lot of investment and resources was placed into that. So nobody has really looked into situations where men are abused. And also, the problem is also when men inflict those abuses, oftentimes they are physical damage, which are really stronger than in where women will inflict a damage. And that's another reason where men's cases are underreported. And the other thing that has kind of been what I was talking about, the laughing matter, when a man report a physical abuse, people are kind of astonished about it. They don't believe it. They say, well, you know what? Either he's just playing us or it's not true. There's something fishy there. Man cannot be abused. And they will always find ways, say he probably got injured in something else and he's just putting it on the wife. But women don't do this. And that's again the concept that we have in this society that causes all those problems. And the thing is, abuse is general. It's not a woman problem, it's not a man problem, it's a human problem. People do it all the time. They abuse their children, they abuse their wives, they abuse their husband. But we don't really look into it because, especially for men, because we tend to again believe that man is supposed to be the stronger character, the strong member of the family. He should not be abused. Another website I have found on the internet kind of asks the right question. How do you know you are abused, right? And that's general. It can apply to men and women. So these are few things. Well, we are looking into psychological abuse here. Some people don't know they are abused. Okay, abuse can be different, be in different sort. Can be physical, can be mental, can be sexual. But the one that is very hard to identify sometimes are those mental abuse or those emotional abuses. For example, it asks all those questions. Does a person you love track all your time, constantly accusing you of being unfaithful, discourage your relationship with family and friends, prevent you from working or attending school, criticize you for little things? And it, do they get angry very easily? Do they control your finances or want you to account for every single penny you spend? Another thing that they do often also is humiliate you in front of others. And that's where it really becomes strike to the dignity of a person. Do they destroy your properties or anything that is sentimental to you, something which is very important to you? They will try to destroy it, like a picture or things like that. Do they hit, punch, or slap or kick or bite you or the children? And also, do they use or threaten you with a weapon? A weapon can be anything, right? A weapon doesn't have to be a gun, doesn't have to be a knife. A weapon can be also blackmailing. For example, they know something about that person and they're going to use it. And in immigration, this is very, very common. Okay, you mess with me, not going to help you to get your immigration papers, report you to immigration or something like that. And do they threaten to hurt the children? That's another thing also. They can use the children as a tool. If you mess up with me, I'm going to hurt the children. Okay, so, and then they also sometimes they force you to have sex without you wanting to have sex. And this applies both ways. It can apply to men and women. So this is a general kind of questionnaire that you can look into to know if you have been abused. There are many other factors that you can look into to know whether someone has been abused, and that applies again for men and women. So today this video was meant basically to identify and to tell people, first, men can be abused, children can be abused, and as well as women, of course. This is the main thing that why VAWA was enacted. It was for women, but it can be applied to men. But also, you do not have to stay in an abusive relationship. If you're in an abusive relationship, you can get out and still get your green card. So please, if you have any kind of situation or you know someone who is suffering from abuses and is staying in that relationship because they're scared of their immigration status, give us a call. Our phone number is 510-742-5887. One last piece of advice: make sure that if you're being abused and someone is abusing you physically, you don't hesitate to call the police. The police is trained to deal with domestic violence, and they will know what to do. They will advise you what to do. It's very, very important. You don't really need to have that to win a VAWA case. However, you want to protect your life first before you think about immigration. Thank you very much for listening today, and anything I told you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely based on the information I've provided. For any questions about any immigration matter, feel free to call us at our office, 510-742-5887, 510-742-5887. And this is Attorney Shaprari. Thank you very much for welcoming me.